seems like you got a lot of support online from the players. What was their reaction like when you finally got to see them in person?
The funny thing is we've kind of done this already, so I think it was a lot of comfort and a deep breath. Coach says he talked to the team. He was really emotional when he talked to the team. So it kind of got an emotional room, and then he let them know that I was going to be the interim head coach. And I think that sigh of relief was real for the players. They felt that, and I felt it. And then I was able to talk to the team, and then we just immediately went right back into full prep mode, and let's go do what we have to do. We're not starting at zero. We're moving forward. So it was a good feeling. There's guys with smiles on their faces. We have our last workout today, and then they have a few days off, and we start fall camp. So we're in a good place right now.
Obviously familiar, like you said, taking over for the New Mexico Bowl. Have you heard anything from any players who kind of aren't on board and are thinking about leaving by any chance?
Nobody's come to me directly with that. Obviously when there's a coaching change, the portal opens and all that type of stuff. I'm just one of those guys. I guess I'm old school. Whoever shows up, we're going to work. And the guys know that's our mentality, and everybody's been here, so let's work. I don't really get into all that. I deal with it when it comes across my desk. But right now, that's way out of my focus. We're trying to get ready for the season, have a monster of a schedule, and we have to be prepared.
What changes for you preparing for fall camp now that you're the guy leading the charge?
Obviously, just my mindset. I was locked in on linebackers, because we have some new faces and some guys that I'm excited about, and just trying to get them to meet their full potential. But now it's the entire team, having to deal with getting familiar with the offensive guys and all that, the coaches, and understanding how we just call plays and things like that. Because we've always tweaking in the off season, so I got to get those tweaks now. So just little things like that, but I'm excited for it. I come from a coaching family, so I always had that big picture mentality, so I'm ready for it.
Last one from me. Obviously, the guy's going from an offensive guy, Jeff Tedford, to you now, defensive guy taking over. Is there going to be a lot of changes?
Nah, I don't think so at all. And I coached offense for 5 years, and my dad's been a running back coach, my brother's running back coach for years and years, so I'm kind of I play linebacker, coach linebacker, but in my blood and my family, it's all been offense. Like when we talk at home, it's all offensive stuff. We don't even talk defensive stuff. So I kind of feel like I can coach both sides. So I don't think that's going to be an issue.
How much involvement will Tedford have this season?
Coach is going to take care of health. So like I told him, and he kind of told me too, he'll come around when he can. Always a phone call away. But health's always first. He has to take care of that. And whatever he's able to do, he can do. He's more than welcome. It's just like Coach Hill, always more than welcome. These guys are legends. You can't come around here or whatever. They can park their car on the field if they want to. So those guys are always welcome. They're always part of Bulldog football.
How do you feel personally about having 12 games at least to be a coach? I know being a head coach is something that has been a goal of yours.
Definitely a goal. Full season. I'm excited about it. I haven't really had time to really let my heart and feelings get involved in it. It's been full speed ahead getting ready for training camp. But I am definitely excited. I love the grind. That's why I do what I do. I like to see young men become grown men. I like that whole process. And I like to see it start at zero with the first day of camp and then the ending product, which will start with the first game against Michigan and throughout the rest of the season. So I just like that grind. I love that, seeing the development happen. So it'll be exciting to watch this year.
You don't really ease into your tenure either, like you said. You start off with defending champs, so a little bit of a challenge right off the bat, right?
Definitely. But it's Fresno State football, and Coach Hill said it best. Anybody, anytime, anywhere, and that's what it is. We're gonna go play. That's why we practice the way we practice. Get ready for that. If you're gonna gauge yourself off somebody, you might as well go to the very top, and that's how everything the chips fell this year. So let's go play. But there's a lot of work to do before we get to there. The dogs have to defeat the dogs. Just talking about our own mentality. We got to set our own toughness. We got to set our own work ethic. We have to do all of that before we even get to prep for Michigan.
Coach, do you feel like this season is a tryout to ultimately be the full-time head coach?
I don't really believe in tryouts. I believe in you have to win. Whether you're an interim head coach, you're a linebacker coach, whatever coach you are, you better win. If you don't win, you're out of here. So that's just the nature of the beast. I kind of like that part of it. I'm a competitive dude. I like that the best players play. I like the best coaches coach. I like all of that. So I'm excited for it, but I don't look at it as a tryout. I look at it as let's go win.
There's so many great coaches on this staff that have experience both NFL and college, but you're the one that's chosen to lead them by Tedford. How does that make you feel personally?
I personally feel great, but the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is all the coaches on defense, pretty much, all of them coach me. So we like Coach Franklin and J.D. Williams, Coach Coyle. Those guys are like brothers and father figures to me. So they're kind of the guys that were mentoring me as I was coming up. So it's just the emotions of that is huge. And I think kind of how when people ask that question, they think there's going to be some issues in the office or stuff like that. But we're really a real big family. I mean, really seriously. And we all are in this thing together. That's the beauty. That's why I have so much confidence and comfort, because there's so many veteran coaches, so many coaches in that office that could be in the position I'm in. So I'm very grateful. But I'm excited to work with those guys, and we're ready to go do this thing.
To say that the ties to the program amongst all the coaches, that's really a big thing, isn't it?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, we can finish each other's sentences. I mean, seriously, throw Coach Baxter in there, who's coached me when he first got here and I was a freshman. So there's so much that we are so connected that it's the transition will be a lot smoother than if I didn't know anybody in the room.
Coach, you played here during that transition from Sweeney to Hill. How can you relate to what the players are going through currently here?
Oh, you're bringing me back there. So Coach Sweeney was here, seemed like forever, right? And he recruited everybody in the room, all that type of stuff. Like he was the godfather of Bulldog football, right? And then if you remember back to there was a lot of coaches that came through here and a lot of coaches' names, like famous names and stuff that got brought up. And then when it was announced that Coach Hill was coming and he had some Fresno State blood in him, that helped us. You know, I think that's a huge thing is when you bring somebody new and they are familiar with Bulldog football. They understand Bulldog football, whether they coached it or played it or both. I think that helps you when you're that young adult age, that 18 to 22. And that's how I felt. And then preaching the same things that we had already heard and we know it works, that just gives you a comfort level that lets you just go play. So it's similar, but a little different, but similar.
Logistically, is there another coach that's going to handle linebackers, or how do things shuffle?
That's a great question. We right now are in the process of getting all that finalized, but to me, we're really going to go with the same staff we had coaching the bowl game, New Mexico State, the Mexico Bowl. So it shouldn't be a big transition or anything. But I don't want to get into names or anything. Hopefully, in the next few days, stuff gets finalized, and go to that.
The benefit of it, the change taking place now in July, because you then are able to kind of have a plan when you get into fall practice, right?
Definitely. So I've been sitting up there getting fall practice done. I finally feel like it's completely done now, like on paper. You know, we have each day taken care of and all those type of things. You always have to add little tweaks and things like that, and things you don't think about as a position coach, like the meals and where they're going to come from and the snack at night. Those little things just had to grasp in my mind, but I feel very good about it now. That 2 weeks is critical and crucial, and I use it to the best of my abilities, and I feel good about it.
Steven Sanchez, JV Wire. So far, from your perspective, what has been the fan and alumni response ever since your hiring from your own perspective?
Phone's still ringing. Lots and lots of people just sending support. You know, I've been here a long time, so I know a lot of people. But just when you feel the love and you hear the love, it's priceless, man. There's just no words to explain it. And I love the Valley. Valley took me in. I moved here from New Orleans, Louisiana in 1996, and it's my second home. Have great relationships with a lot of people, even people here in the media. I mean, it's been awesome. And I'm just excited to represent the Valley, and we're going to keep that Valley toughness, Valley strong, and we're going to go play these games.
So you were completely surprised when Tedford told you that he was going to not coach this season?
So the surprise was he's been having some good checkups. So I'm thinking, oh, let's go. And then obviously he popped up with a bad checkup, and then he decided, hey, health thing.
So if it wasn't for that checkup, he'd be coaching?
He'd coach, yeah. He was planning on coaching. There was no, I'm not coaching, you know. But like he said to me, health over coaching. And it's just the cards he's dealt, and pray for him and hope it all gets better.
One more question for Coach?
Coach, I know you take a lot from the other coaches you've had, but I'm sure you mentioned that you wanted to be a head coach for a long time. Is there anything that you want to bring to the table as a head coach that you've been thinking about? Maybe kind of big picture, you know, that will kind of put that Tim Skipper personality on this Bulldog team?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was raised up here with Bulldog football with Pat Hill, so he always preached toughness and fanatical effort, and it's always stuck in me. I can't get it out of my system. So that's kind of my touch on the program will be directly associated with that in many different ways. But I just want anybody that plays against us or watches us play, say those dudes are tough and they play with great effort. Get those two things, the score will take care of itself.
All right, Thanks, guys.